Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to go over a couple different suppressors. We've done individual reviews on these, but we've never put them head to head, and they're kind of in the same bracket. We have the Odessa 9 by Dead Air and the 105 CCX by JK Armament. Let's see how these guys compare on our Beretta 92. Let's get into it. Alright, so both of these cans are specific niche cans. We'll just put it that way. Alright, the 105 CCX by JK Armament is a boosterless, all aluminum pistol suppressor. Okay, specifically for 9mm, and it's super lightweight. Everybody makes the jokes and the things about this thing being so small, it looks like a 22 can, and it really does. It really does. It's about the size of most 22 cans, even smaller than some, and it's modular, right? It's got 5 baffles, a front cap, and a spacer. It's very small, and if you remember the review that we did on this guy, he actually does pretty dang well. For a suppressor this size, even when you bring it down to like 1 baffle, it actually does really well. It's designed to be shot wet, and it's designed to function as a concealed carry can, right? Like, and that actually makes sense. A concealed carry can, people put comps on their guns and stuff, all the things, and I know all the people have all the things like, oh, if you actually use that in self-defense, whatever. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. That's what this guy is designed for, okay? That's what I'm trying to get at. So that's the 105 CCX. We have the Dead Air Odessa 9, on the other hand, which is different, right? It's almost, I didn't really bring my calipers out, and it's just a hair thicker, okay, than the 105 CCX. It is definitely longer. I think it comes with, yeah, it comes with 10 baffles, right? There's no spacer, but 10 baffles, a front cap, and a booster, because this guy is made of steel. Where, I mean, he's not heavy, but when you compare him directly to the 105 CCX, this guy is a featherweight, and this guy all of a sudden feels a little heavy. When you compare the Odessa to like most other 9mm cans, you're like, yeah, that's lightweight. Well, because comparatively it is, but when you compare these two guys, there's no question about it. The 105 is definitely lighter, but is it better? That's what we're going to try to talk about. I know audio over cameras, microphones, coming through earbuds and all that stuff, there's no real way to tell, so please understand that. And I don't have decibel readers, and I've looked into them, and they're like $10,000 to get one that's actually worth getting. You can get the cheaper ones that aren't even rated for 140, 150 decibels, so what's the point of even trying to use those? Because they won't rate, they won't calculate, they're not in the range of the spectrum of firearms, right? They're not made for those, so they don't work. So that's why I don't do the decibel reader kind of things. I know some people really don't like that. If somebody wants to buy me a $10,000 decibel reader, I will use it. But so we're gonna have to go off of what my ears do, and this is just my opinion. And then you guys, from your stand of view, your point of view, which one do you think is gonna sound better? We're gonna shoot both of these as is, right? They're both dry. I think they're both dry. Both should be dry. And they're full-length configurations as they stand, okay? Then what we're going to do is, since the 105 CCX has 5 baffles, right, and a spacer, not really going to count the spacer, 5 baffles, we're going to break down the Odessa to 5 baffles, and we'll compare them directly, right, and then compare them directly dry, and then we'll compare them directly wet. And we'll just kind of see what happens. We'll go with the flow. At the end of the video, we'll wrap things up. I haven't shot these two side by side, so I don't even know what's going to sound the best. The ammo that we're going to be using, we'll do some Supersonic just to see. I'm not going to do a whole lot of that. I do have some 165 grain Subsonic loads that I load up that I really like. They're kind of cloned based off of the Freedom Munition Hush line of ammunition, which I think that's the best stuff out there. We just can't get that up here in Alaska, so I had to load my own stuff, and it's comparable. 165 grains, those things come out there pretty dang slow. I think, from what I'm remembering, they're between 800 and 900 feet per second. They're slow, which is nice. And for the firearm host today, we're going to be using the Beretta 92. We got a threaded barrel. I figured this would be a nice one because it should operate the best, since the barrel does not tilt at all, so it really doesn't necessarily need caveats to all that. Nielsen devices, boosters, and whatnot. Even though the 105 CCX doesn't have one, it really hasn't functioned bad at all. It's functioned perfectly fine on like my Glocks and stuff. But I figured this would be interesting. We'll give it a steel frame gun. Enough talking. I'm gonna start talking in circles. We're gonna stop there. enough talking. Let's load up some ammo and we'll go shoot this stuff. All right, the beauty of both of these cans is that the cans are both very small diameter. So really, you should be able to get a nice, clean sight picture. That's one of the beauty of both of these cans. So that is cool. That's where these guys have that niche and stuff. That they are dedicated pistol suppressors. They're not made for your other, you know, PCCs and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is the 105, they're not 105. This is the Odessa 9 full length dry with supers. Okay, so we're just gonna shoot into the dirt. We'll do 4 shots, just like how it is. All right, here we go. All right, same thing, 4 rounds with the 105. Here we go. All right, so right off the bat there, it's apparent to me, and I know I'm wearing ear pro, that the Odessa is quieter with the supers over the 105 in full length, all right? We're not going to do this between every single take, but I'm just saying that's the only time we're really going to shoot supers. The rest of the stuff's going to be subsonic, and I think I can get away with without wearing my ear pro and use the cans as ear pro. You just got to be careful, and I'm going to throw a caveat out there. Not a caveat, kind of a warning. If you shoot guns a lot, even if you have suppressors, be careful with your ears, right? It's a cumulative damage over your ears. I know I've got a little bit ringing over here. Be careful, save your ears. It's not always super cool to not to wear ear pro. I'll say that, and eye pro, especially on cans. I didn't notice a whole bunch of blast back. That's one thing to note. Just particulates a lot of times with shooting suppressed pistols. You get a lot of stuff back in your face. Make sure you wear eye pro with those. But I didn't notice a whole bunch. So that's something to be interested in. Anyway, let's do the Subsonics. I'm not going to talk between each one. We'll just run through the whole thing and see how they sound. All right, guys, so there you have it. The Odessa 9 versus the JK Armament 105 CCX. I should probably have done this with a different pistol because the Beretta, I thought, would be the perfect host, especially for the 105, because, yeah, it has like a locking block, basically, but the barrel is linear. It doesn't drop like a regular, was it a Browning style, or whatever it is, like a Glock where the barrel tilts. We had jams almost on, I think, almost every single iteration with the 105. With the Odessa, we were fine. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Again, probably should have done this with a pistol that I knew would work, but I didn't bring that pistol out, so we can't really do that right now. Unless we reshoot this whole video, which if you guys really want me to, I can probably do that. The sound will be the same, and that's what we're, that's what we're going after, is the sound. Not the reliability of the cans and all that stuff. You got to tune your guns to your cans and all these things, but the sound. So for me, and this is me, the shooter. I don't know what you guys heard on the audio and everything. The obvious winner to me was the Odessa. All right. Yes, it does cost more, so it's no real big surprise. Maybe these are two different cans in just slightly different micro niches, right? The 105 CCX is supposed to knock down the decibels, to be used as a concealed carry can, and be shot wet, right? Not a heavy use can. Like, you fire a couple shots in some kind of situation, whatever that is, and it helps reduce the sound, okay? Well, as long as you have the gun tuned properly, don't use it on a Beretta, apparently. Use it on your Glocks and stuff, which I have had not perfectly good reliability, but relatively good reliability once you get them all tuned up. The 105 functions fine, and that makes sense. In those situations, the 105 is definitely shorter and lighter, so as a concealed carry can, it makes sense. However, the trade-off for the Odessa being heavier, slightly longer, with a booster, it's quieter. Like, to me, there's no question about it. It is quieter. I did notice, even with my Ear Pro on, a first round pop with the Odessa. I'm not remembering it too much different with the 105. I'm not remembering such a loud first round pop, but there is a noticeable first round pop with the Odessa. However, I was able to shoot the Odessa more comfortably without Ear Pro longer. It was whenever I shot the 105 that it was like, wow, that's a pop. That's a pop that's being a little bit louder than I'm comfortable with, because I don't want to damage my ears anymore. So that's why about halfway through I ended up putting my Ear Pro on, because we're not gonna play that game. So anyway, they're again, these are both, in relative terms, lightweight, specific use 9mm pistol cans. They're both in that category. They both do well in that category. Where they split off into their super micro niches, is the Odessa is going to be quieter, so I guess you could conceal carry it, but definitely for concealed carry, the 105 will carry better, right? Because you can make it shorter and you can make it lighter. It's going to carry better that way, all right? That's about all I can say. I can sit here and talk around and round and round in circles about this stuff and probably not get anywhere, but that's kind of where we stand right now. I'm glad I have both, because they both fill a niche, whatever. They both do certain things better than other cans, and that's why you have different cans. That's exactly why you have different cans. That's why I do not advocate for one can to do everything, because it won't do it all well. You find the can for the specific job that you want it to do. Just like firearm. Not one firearm will do everything. Or tool. There you go. Just use it that way. Not one tool will do everything. Even though some people think you can fix anything with a hammer. Just not really going to work. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to stop talking about this stuff. Let me know what you guys think. What did you pick up over the audio? Which can, number one, sounded better? Number two, do you think would be a better fit for what you have in your applications? Because that's really what it comes down to. Maybe you don't even want a can. Maybe you don't even need one. You're like, this is all stupid. You're wasting money on ammo and cans and all this stuff. You don't need to do that. Just practice. And yeah, there's an argument to be made there. Stinking birds everywhere. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's what I'd like to know from you guys. I appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, and everything. I appreciate all my other folks over there on Patreon, who get earlier access to some of these videos, not every single one of them, but they know what's going on behind the scenes. They know what's coming down the pipeline. They see stuff before you guys see stuff. So my Patreon guys, I really appreciate that. Anybody else that wants to follow me on any of the other things I'm on, Rumble and Instagram, Gunstreamer, I've got links to all that stuff down below if you want to check those things out, because we've already had YouTube delete us once and probably going to happen again before who knows when. But you never know, so those other platforms are ways to continue to follow us if you so desire. And if you don't, no skin off my nose. I'm going to keep having fun and doing what I do. All right, that's it. You guys be good and be safe. And hopefully we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.